Switching gears now to our continuing coverage of Decision 2010. When candidates run for office, they usually have attack ads criticizing their opponents. But something very unusual to tell you about tonight. 24-hour News 8 political reporter Rick Alvin got his hands on it, and we're all intrigued.
You know, I've never seen anything like this. More years than I want to tell you that I've been covering politics. Mike Cox has been out in the front in this governor's race with some ads that have been very critical of Congressman Pete Hoekstra's record in Washington, particularly when it comes to spending. Hoekstra countered with an ad talking about his record as being a conservative when it comes to spending taxpayer money. So that's pretty much your typical campaign rhythm. One side accuses, the other refutes, and so it goes until late this afternoon when I was able to obtain a commercial that I think every political pundit in the state and more than a few of your neighbors are going to be talking about tomorrow.
Bickering never solved anything. Maybe it's the nerd in me, but whether we believe in Pete Hoekstra's spending or not, he's a good man. Mike Cox, typical politician. These attacks aren't going to help Michigan.
That's a new commercial that's going to hit the air tomorrow, and that is Republican candidate for governor Rick Snyder talking about another Republican candidate for governor and his opponent, Pete Hoekstra, calling him a good man. Now, this is something I have never seen in a political commercial before, and it is clever because it's not necessarily what you think it is when you first take a look at it. It doesn't do anything to counter those claims by Cox in the commercials that he seems to be deriding. In fact, it would seem that he is almost endorsing those, or at least it would appear that he is accepting the premise of those claims that are being made, because he says whether we believe in Pete Hoekstra's spending or not, as if accepting that premise. And then he goes on to blast Cox as a typical politician. Listen again.
Bickering never solved anything. Maybe it's the nerd in me, but whether we believe in Pete Hoekstra's spending or not, he's a good man. Mike Cox, typical politician. These attacks aren't going to help Michigan.
Well, it is an unusual commercial to say the least. Now, what impact will it or any commercials have? It's hard to know, but we will be able to gauge that a little better in a few weeks when we'll have another exclusive epic MRA poll to tell you about. Of course, we'll continue to be the station of record right here for Decision 2010. Back to you.